All right. Thanks, Ty. Thank you all for being patient with us. Getting the chance to say goodbye to those guys, but in a lot of ways it's not goodbye. We're not moving as far as we know, and I'll get into that here in a few minutes. But the last chance to talk to them is as their football coach. So last time we were in this room, we were here talking about a very unexpected Drake Iowa State game that developed, and now we're here talking about another unexpected thing, and that is me stepping down as the head football coach at Drake. The kind of the process that I want to kind of take you through, but I want you to know right off the bat that this is completely my initiative. This is not anything that was initiated by Brian or anybody in the administration here. It was really both myself and my wife, Julie, going back to our game against Marist. When I finished that game, I was just, honestly, I'm a man of faith and just felt like God was saying, hey, you really need to think about and pray about, is this the place you're going to be for the rest of your career, or maybe being open to new and different things. Actually, 5 years ago when I came into this position with Coach Creighton's departure, conversation I had before that is we were only thinking about being in coaching for a couple more years and possibly getting into some other things and different kinds of ministry and service type things. And that, obviously for this position, you need more than a couple year commitment. And so we prayed through it hard then and said, hey, we'll be here at least 5 years. And this actually tomorrow is the 5-year anniversary of being named the head coach here. That wasn't what really initiated our thinking through whether we should come back or not for the future. But it was just kind of where we're at in life and saying, hey, this is kind of a turning point in terms of are we going to be here for the duration in our career for Julie and I. So we've been praying that through, thinking it through, talking it through. We thought we were going to do that over Thanksgiving break, but with the Iowa State game, that pushed everything back a couple of weeks. And so Julie and I were able to do that this past week and just really felt like it's time. And time for what? That's the thing that, honestly, you guys are going to have a hard time believing because it's time for we don't know what. But we know that we're going forward in God's leading. There's no other way to put it. And we're excited about that. And we know we can entrust ourselves to Him in that, and also Drake football and Drake athletics. And we're excited to see what's going to happen here. And I want you to know the other thing about moving forward here at Drake and for our family is the Drake administration's support of football is as high as I've seen it in my years here. I'm incredibly optimistic about the future of Drake football and really looking forward to what that means. And I believe that under Brian's leadership and the staff that follows me here is going to do great things because we got a great group of guys. That's why you were waiting here so long for me to get down here. Great young men and also really, really talented football players. We lost a great group this year to graduation, but there's a lot of names that people don't know that can take us even further. I do want to say a little bit about the Iowa State game. I think that game gave really the people of Iowa and even beyond a glimpse into our program from how they're capable of playing through the performance you saw on the field. But going back to that press conference afterwards and seeing the kind of young men that typify Drake football, and it's what we call, as you guys know, being impact men, being difference makers. And it was exciting for us. It wasn't new for us. It was exciting for people to get a better view of it. And And Nathan Claiborne, I'm sure it's no surprise to you guys who know our program, in our meeting last Monday after the Iowa State game, I'm going to share a little bit of what he said then. He said, I did not start being proud about Drake football because how we happened to play one Saturday in December against Iowa State. I've been proud about Drake football since coming here as a freshman. And you guys who are coming back, you need to carry that pride forward because you've seen what we're capable of doing and you've seen what we're capable of being. And now we need to do that moving forward in that. And that's the kind of people that we have. And really, honestly, that's why we're here. Julie and I, in our marriage, our first date was a high school football game, recruiting. And that's all we've done. And both for her and for myself, for our children, Rebecca and Hannah Kate and Caleb, it's always been a family thing, this coaching. One of our daughters, our second daughter, Hannah Kate, said, our home is a football field because that's just where we've been all our lives. And it's always been about serving the student athletes that we've coached. And that's our version of being impact men and women within our family. And now we're seeking what God has for us moving forward in the different things that's out there for us. And whether that's in coaching or out of coaching, like I said, I don't know. Whether that's in the Des Moines area, we'd love to stay here for many, many years, but it may be going other places as well, and we're just open to seeing that. But I would actually be kind of a hypocrite, kind of a phony, if I'm expecting our young men to be impact men, and then when we have this call in our life to go impact in other areas and other places in different ways that we don't even know yet, that I don't follow through on that, how can I expect our young men to do that? And they will do that, and we will do that, and we're excited to see what the future holds for all of us in that way.
Any questions?
Is it a little scary not knowing what the future holds?
Yeah, it's real scary. We were sitting down on the phone and in person with our kids yesterday who are spread all over the country right now and explaining that. And, yeah, the answer is yes. And some of the players just now, they're like, Coach, that sounds scary. And I said it is. But, again, going back to our faith, I can plant my feet in who God is, and I absolutely trust him with our family, and so we can move forward in that confidence. So, yeah, it doesn't make sense, and it won't make sense to people necessarily, but that's the great thing about our faith because we're going to see how he provides and keeps his promises.
What made you believe this was your calling to step away?
Yeah, that's a great thing, and I don't know if you know this, but my master's degree is in New Testament studies, so I could go a long way we go on this, but and I'll be careful on it to not get us too far off track, but there's a verse in the Bible that says, the sheep know the shepherd's voice. And actually, I was telling a sister of mine who lives down in Texas about this decision this morning, and she said, hey, I want to pray with you and Julie, and she prayed that verse. And I said when she was done, I said, that's exactly what I've experienced this week. And I didn't have any audible voices or visions in the sky or anything like that. But what I had was just this constant, peaceful sense of, Rick, you got to trust me. You got to not be afraid, okay? And it's time. It's time to move on. And I don't know what all that means because I can't see the future. But I know that if we trust him in that, he's going to have great things for our family, but he's also going to have great things for Drake football and Drake athletics. And I'm excited to see what that looks like, but I just kind of knew in my spirit that it was time.
Does the next calling have to be revolved, I guess, around that faith-based?
Everything I do is going to be revolved around that, to be honest with you. But I don't know what it's going to be. I really don't. We've talked about doing something overseas. We've talked about staying and working here, right here in Des Moines. We've talked about all kinds of things. We're just going to see. But everything I do, that's who I am. And so it's going to be about that.
You said you thought the Drake football program is in the best leadership it's been since you've been here. What led you to believe that?
Well, we've had great leadership all the way through. David Maxwell and I, our former president, we were trading emails this weekend, and he and Sandy both having the confidence in allowing me to be the head coach, and coming here in 2008 with Coach Creighton. There were good things then, but under President Martin and Brian's leadership, I tell you what, I've absolutely loved. We just figured this out just a little while ago. Brian's my anniversary in terms of mine being named head coach and him being named athletic director, same date, tomorrow actually. And having the chance to work with him for these 12 months. I kind of teased him a little bit Sunday night when we talked, and I told him about my decision. I told him, I said, how much I appreciated working for him. And I said, now, don't get me wrong, you didn't give me everything we always wanted in these past 12 months. I think his response was, no AD ever does. But he has always looked out for the best interests of our student athletes and doing the best he can for our football program and for the other teams here at Drake, and been very, very upfront with me in that process. And when you have leadership like that, which we do at many levels here, good things are going to happen. And I believe that's going to be the case.
So you kicked around a few ideas. What are some of those ideas?
Yeah, okay. I'm a teacher by heart. That's why I love coaching. I love the light bulb moment when it goes on for guys when they're out on the field and they're struggling to get something or understand something, and they get it, and then they do the play and it works. And just to see that look in their eyes, man, that's what a teacher loves, and we love that. And however that plays out, I don't know. And I've loved the opportunity in the head coaching position to kind of shape or organization, so to speak, in our team and see how it impacts people. It was really rewarding for me just in this past 40 minutes talking to our guys, and some of them talking about how they've been shaped to think about being impact men and difference makers. And that's what I want, because I think it's a Knute Rockne quote that after one of his national championship seasons, he said, they said, Coach, what it was like, having such a great team. He said, don't tell me now whether it's a great team or not. Ask me 30 years from now and the kind of men that they became. And that's really what it's all about. I told the team, my biggest disappointment in these 5 years is we didn't get to hold a trophy over our head. We came close a few times, but we didn't get to do that. But honestly, I would trade that for getting, texts or whatever we're doing 30 years from now and hearing about them having a significant positive impact in their communities and families and all the things that they're a part of. Yeah.
Would you coach again?
Oh, I'd love to coach again. We're not ruling it out. We're just being open to whatever God has for us. And if it's time to put that to rest, man, I've had 32 great years, a lot of wins, working with a lot of great people, a lot of great coaches, and I won't regret it. But if that's what He has for us moving forward, we'll have a blast doing that as well. Well, hey, Todd Stepsis is a great coach, and Brian, that's Brian's decision on who's going to be the next head guy. But is he capable? I have no doubt in my mind about that. And can he move this program forward? I have no doubt in my mind about that either. You've seen how his defenses play. Just an amazing effort in that Iowa State game. And for those of you who know our program, that wasn't anything new. He's been coaching our defense in those ways year after year for these past 5 years. And one of the things that makes him so great as a defensive coordinator is he can adapt to so many different offensive styles. Before we played Jacksonville and their option offense, some other very good teams in our program really struggled against the option this year. And I'll admit, Todd probably didn't sleep that entire week. But we shut them down. And it was a credit to our players, and it was a credit to his game plan and his staff's work in doing that. He's a great coach, and he's a great man, and he loves Des Moines. We talked about that this afternoon, how much he and his family have invested in our community. So there's no doubt in my mind he's capable. Brian's going to do what's best for this football program, and I'm confident in that as well.
You talked about how you really thought about this after the Iowa State game, but was there a little part of you when you're standing outside that closed-door team meeting kind of hoping, okay, I hope these guys want to play one more so then I can play one more?
Oh, you know what? I hadn't gotten that far with it yet, to be honest with you. I was just hoping that they would want to play one more so they can have a chance to play one more. And then the way they played, it was just, it'll be a memory none of us will forget. And that will be, something I'll cherish as my last game as a coach here at Drake, to be a part of that and to see them do that. I'm so thankful that they were all in with it.